transposing with a capo. Now the capo is very useful, which creates a mobile nut or a zero fret when clamped on the fretboard. You can make artificial bars with it and transpose chord progressions. It's also a great way to spice up your own guitar playing for personal music you're working on. For example, if you have a chord progression that moves from D major to A major back to E major, all played as open string chords, you can transpose this from D to G by placing the capo on the 5th fret of the guitar. You can then use the same open string voicings to play the chords G major, D major, and A major like this. Now I've included a sample chart of popular major chords and what they will be with a capo on fret 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is to help you understand how this all works. The chart goes like this. It runs horizontally, as you can see. Column 1 is the chord A. In the next column, it shows what A would sound like if you had a capo on the 1st fret, then the 2nd fret, and so forth. Now the only reason this is advanced is because it considers the use of keys rather than individual chords. As stated before, we can see that a capo allows us to use familiar chord shapes in unfamiliar keys. While these can be worked out by subtracting semitones on a chord-by-chord basis, it is much easier to think in terms of the key and chord position. For instance, if we take the key of B flat. 1 is the B flat, 2 is the C minor, 3 is the D minor, 4 is the E flat, 5 is the F, 6 is the G minor, 7 is the A diminished, and then you have a space for the B flat to start over. Thinking in terms of chord positions rather than names, if the song contained B flat, E flat, F, and G minor chords, we consider this as a 1, 4, 5, and 6 position chord. We can now decide which key we want to play in. We now play 1, 4, 5, and 6 position chords in the key that we have transposed to. It is important to remember that when we say we are transposing to a new key, although we are thinking and playing in terms of more familiar chords and keys, we are still really playing those original chords in the original key. For example, here's one in the key of G. You see the G barred and the G capo on the 3rd fret. Now we want to play in the key of G, and this is 3 semitones lower, therefore we place the capo behind the 3rd fret. This allows you to play the G chord on the 3rd fret with the capo playing in an E open chord formation. Pretty neat. This is the main idea of using a capo. You are using familiar, maybe even easier chord shapes to get the chord sound of less familiar, more difficult chords. If you have a B flat chord in a song, you could put the capo at the 1st fret and play an A chord shape. You will still get a B flat chord sound.